Steve taking the piss out of this.
Welcome to tonight's show. You're with Tom, Brian, and Steve, and this is from the sidelines. And you know what? We decided that after game one of State of Origin, we're going to do a State of Origin special.
Yes.
Gentlemen, how are you tonight?
Regretting I'm here, actually.
Well, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. Brian?
I'm wearing black in mourning.
I'm wearing my colours.
Okay.
That's all I've got.
That's all you got. So that wraps up the show then. Thank you for coming.
Correct. Thanks for tuning in, Brad.
So my usual comment to you is, if you got anything intelligent you wanted the show with, that was it, was it? So we're done.
Probably.
So, gentlemen, let's talk about State of Origin 1, which was last night. Not a surprising result. There are some people who predicted a lot of what...
Start, Stephen.
I want to say that they think I'm going to be arrogant because I predicted almost everything right.
I didn't say arrogant. I said you're obnoxious.
Obnoxious. But I'm trying to be humble, but I'm trying to drag them into the conversation in trying to be humble. So go along with me.
I'm trying not to be arrogant about the fact that I got everything right.
Yeah.
Except for the score. No, I will admit I got the number wrong.
Yes.
Okay, so instead of losing by 16, they lost by 8. So anyway, who wants to go first about their feelings about the game last night?
Their feelings about the game?
Where do you
Come on,
start?
That's right. How do you start with that garbage?
What did you think was garbage? Okay.
What did I think was garbage?
What did you think was garbage?
I don't think Queensland do State of Origin better than us.
I do, but go on.
I think that what we try and do is play their stupid game.
Okay.
New South Wales has better players, better coach. We're a better team.
You've got a better coach, is that what you think?
I think we've got a better coach. I think though that what Queensland do is they drag us down to their level. Yeah, it's that old saying, don't argue with an idiot because they'll drag you down to their level and beat you with their experience. I think Queensland do that at State of Origin time. They drag us down into their game.
Yep.
And we don't know how to get out of it.
Yep.
And so in order to combat that, New South Wales and the selectors made the worst mistake they could have possibly made.
Which was?
They picked a bunch of hotheads who cost us the game to fight fire with fire. Tavita Pangai Jr. and Hudson Young, every time they touched the ball, there was nearly a blow-up, which was great while we were in control.
Yep.
Until a stupid strip, a stupid drop ball, a dumb penalty.
Offload that went wrong.
Those two made 4 errors, and from those 4 errors, 4 tries were scored. We cannot play Queensland's game. We should be playing our game.
Okay.
Last.
But you still think Fittler's a better coach than
Slater. Last show.
Yeah.
I said I was a bit fired up, and the Johns brothers had an altercation.
Yes.
Where Matty Johns said, New South Wales don't know what they're doing. And Andrew Johns came back and said, you think we don't know what? And he was pretty angry.
Yeah.
You know what? When we make dumb choices to be dragged down to Queensland's game, we don't know what we're doing. Play our game.
Play our game.
Play our game.
Tom, what did you think was the problem last night?
Well, look, there was lots of things that weren't right. We had more possession. We dominated on all the possession stats, but couldn't do anything. Couldn't do enough with the ball. I mean, Murray Talangi held up two tries, so there was 2 opportunities that we missed out on.
Yep.
I still think that Frizzell got part of the ball down at some point.
I think it's hard to say he didn't, but
yeah. And because it went up as a no try, they supported that. But Blind Freddie could see that part of the ball went on the ground at some point. Anyway, look, that's another thing. But it was the last few minutes that really killed the game. I mean, I think throughout the game, the Blues didn't make enough of their opportunities, and that's why the scoring went backwards and forwards. But the biggest mistakes they made, or the biggest failing, was in that last 5 or 10 minutes. Letting through those 2 tries. That they were a man down. They had what was it, a hooker and a back rower playing centres. and they still managed to put 10 points on us. The baffling thing for me is To'o and Crichton play on the right, and they were playing on the left. Adokar plays on the left, and he was playing on the right. I got no idea why that decision was made.
No, neither
particularly. And you could see that they're out of order.
Yeah.
I think Crichton and To'o, along with Martin, were our best players because they tried and they were consistent. They did their job and they toiled away.
Okay.
I don't think Cleary had a great game. I mean, some people said he had some good patches. I actually think his job was to carry that team around, and I still think he hasn't nailed it yet.
Yeah. Okay, so let's break that down a little bit more. There was some... You talked about the end of the game, and you're right. New South Wales had so much ball in the first half. We should have scored 3 or 4 tries, forgetting about the ones that were disallowed. And at the end of the game, at 10 minutes to go, when the game was either way, Queensland lose a player, and all of a sudden they find the spirit, which, interestingly enough, has happened in the NRL this year too. It is no longer a deficit to lose a player. For some reason, there's so many teams who actually know how to play it. I'm concerned, and I said last week, I'm concerned about certain players. I think Teddy shouldn't have been there, and I got held down for that. But you know what?
No, you didn't.
I did.
Who held you down?
Oh,
who
come
held
on.
you
You
down?
did.
No, and I said, who's the better choice?
Well, I
And
could
you
name
go
Edwards
Latrell.
or Gutherson. No. Well, okay. But everyone in the paper today is screaming about Latrell being put in a fullback.
Mate, if
anyway, that's
if
another story.
we won't win if Latrell goes to fullback.
Just hear me out. Okay. Down, boy. Down. I don't think Turbo should have been there. Turbo went missing. Yes, he had 1 or 2 okay runs.
Well, let me tell you this, because I was prepared for that. Let me tell you this.
You
tell me, how many kicks in the game? So Queensland obviously had a better kicking game.
Yes.
Except for 1 kick by Munster. Everything else was great.
Yep.
Tell me how many times did they kick to Turbo and Adokar in the entire game? Because I can tell you.
Yeah.
How many?
0.
So?
Queensland, you know what? It's because Queensland went, they're the danger players. We're not going to go near them. They would rather take on To'o and Crichton than take on Turbo and Adokar. Your theory all works. Your theory only works because Queensland didn't even go near them.
But hang on.
Every piece of attacking play that Queensland had went left.
It doesn't matter.
Every kick went left.
How many
They
times
did not go near them.
How many times has Turbo scored a try from receiving a kick?
You didn't receive a kick.
In other games. I mean, the percentage would
Frequently.
be very low.
The only time... No.
What you're
No,
misunderstanding...
how many meters he got?
What you're not taking into account is the fact that he's on a back line that should be able to score tries. Doesn't matter how many times they kick to him.
No. What you're missing is the fact that we didn't go that way either.
Exactly. Well, and that's going to come to my next point.
I think you're both right.
We are both right.
No, only I'm right because he's saying no good. I'm saying good. So Tom ran 137 metres and Adokar ran 108. That was with no kick returns, no chases. They actually had to go looking for the ball on the other side of the field.
Are you seriously telling me you thought Turbo had a good game?
I think...
Is seriously... You look into that camera and you tell them...
Okay. I think that Turbo played the game that he was allowed to play by Queensland and New South Wales.
Well...
I don't think nobody would have done differently.
No,
the
I
ball
disagree.
did not go to that side of the field
Doesn't
in
matter.
attack
You
or
playing,
defence.
Well, then.
So
well, then,
what are you trying to say?
Well, then I'm trying to say there's a problem with the attack, and now let's talk about the halfbacks because I was saying last week
let's talk about the
that we
halfbacks.
should change the halves, and I don't think we should lose Cleary.
Well,
I think he's fine. Luai should not be 5'8". I'm sorry, he just shouldn't be. There are better runners of the
he
ball.
had his hands on the ball more than Cleary.
He did,
Absolutely.
but he keeps running sideways. Stop running
No,
sideways.
you know why? It's because he's trying to link up with those outside men. You know what the problem was?
Hang on! Don't start talking about Penrith combinations.
This is gonna upset all of the little Penrith supporters out there, all the little crybabies. The problem in that game was Yo. He was wrapped up. He did nothing. He couldn't get a pass away.
No, he didn't have his best game.
They smothered him. So the ball goes Cleary, and then Cleary then swings it left or right. All right. If he swang it, if he went
Swang it.
If he swang it right, unfortunately, he's got Teddy out there who I don't know what the hell Teddy was doing.
Yeah.
If he goes left, it goes to Luai. Sorry, and then Luai then uses Yeo to make space.
Yep.
That didn't happen.
You're right.
No,
they
exactly.
suffocated him.
The weak link was actually the way that they played with, and what I don't understand is why didn't we move away from that structure? Because you look at that team and you go, they should have.
Well, the Penrith
of
team
course they
usually
should've.
find another way around, don't they?
Yeah.
And that's the other problem. The Penrith combination. It hasn't worked for so many years, so
like I said,
why keep doing it?
They couldn't go right because Teddy was there.
Yeah.
He was hopeless.
Oh, well,
He bombed 3 tries. He let in 2.
I don't know how you
Bombed
could say
3
he was...
He's terrible
How could you say he was terrible, but Turbo was good?
because he had the ball in his
because
hands.
Turbo plays for Manly.
He had the ball in his hands. He jigs and he jigs, and I'm going, pass the ball. You've got an unmarked winger.
I said the same thing.
Yeah.
And you know what he
that's
does? Ran back in.
Yeah.
And as for Cleary's kicking game, if you've got the Fox and Turbo on one side of the field, and you've got Crichton and Toho on the other, why are you putting up midfield bombs?
Yeah, exactly. So
Why are you putting up midfield bombs? Why?
Okay.
So you agree with me? Clearly had a poor night.
100%.
See, here's the other thing. I remember a game a little while ago where Melbourne were playing the Broncos, and everyone knows that Walsh is a little bit suspect under the high ball.
Yep.
By the way, had a great night the other night.
He did.
But what they were doing was Munster was actually, during that game, Munster was actually putting up bombs, but shortened ones.
Yeah.
So he had a lot of pressure on him.
Yeah.
When he was up to take the ball.
Yep.
Nobody was pressuring Walsh. I mean,
Okay.
there were a couple of times. Yes, he took some spectacular takes, but
Okay, let me go the other way though. All right, have a look at this for stats. Payne Haas ran for 133 metres.
yep.
That's it.
But he did a lot of damage in that.
Yeah, no.
133
He
metres.
did bend the line a lot.
Yeah, but he was the only one.
Yeah.
That's the problem. Your halfback can't win you a game and put in good kicks.
How many did Liam Martin make? Who, by the way, I thought had an exceptional game.
He was the New South Wales best. Only 73 metres, but his impact wasn't huge.
Yeah, so my point is, it doesn't matter how many metres they make. What impact did they have?
No, but it does matter how many metres they make because we weren't bending the line, we weren't pushing them back, we weren't making metres. The only players, and I must admit, Cam Murray was exceptional when he came on.
Yes.
Like anyone, if you were looking at that team, you keep Haas, you keep Paulo.
Well,
I
should have started.
thought Paulo had a good game when he came on. I was surprised.
He should have started.
I was surprised to see that the little impact that he actually had because he looked better.
Yeah.
I reckon Jake's got to be lock, and then Murray and Liam Martin have to be in the back row.
Yeah. Now,
if you start with that pack,
Yep.
how are you going to lose?
Yep.
You've got
Well, hang
tackling
on, but they
machines who don't make mistakes.
We have lost before with Jake, but you're right. I mean, bring Jake in, bring Latrell in. There's some players who can come in. There's absolutely no doubt
And
about
put
that.
Junior Bolo on in the starting lineup because his impact at the beginning, he intimidates, he gets meters, he gets offloads, he starts the ball rolling, if you like. He gets the enthusiasm going to come in at whatever he came in. We were already behind the 8 ball when that happened.
Yes.
And you look at it to start with Tafita Pangai Jr. and Hudson Young, two debutants.
See, I would have them next game.
Yeah.
Why?
Because the challenge with what they were doing last night is I have no doubt they were told, go as hard as you can,
fire up.
but be careful.
Yeah.
And don't do this and don't do that.
Hudson Young didn't
The
listen.
first tackle by Addo Carr, he slams into Reece Walsh with the shoulder
Yeah.
on the ground.
Yeah. Didn't get penalised though.
No.
But
Look,
I'd have them there because
okay.
you need that fire.
Okay, then you tell me because I thought we looked a better team with them off the park. So you tell me how.
Well, but you can't have them off the park. You've got to have. I mean, no, I agree. Start with Polo. Start with Cameron Murray. Start with
Payne Haas.
Payne Haas.
And then
start with them. But you've got to have some other.
No,
I
that's
would.
right. You know who you bring in? You bring in the other crazy guys who are big, strong, and just.
Who are the other crazy guys?
Olakwatu and Kalamatangi.
Imagine
Imagine having those two coming on. Like Liam Martin has a bit of a breather, moves to lock, or Jake comes off, and then you bring on You bring on one of those two monsters.
I agree.
Sure,
I would accept those.
And you know what? The difference is that those two guys don't make mistakes.
What did we do right last night? What was good last night?
It's hard to find.
I mean, we were 10-0 down after, what, 15
Appy,
minutes? So
Appy was good.
Yep.
do you think so?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
You know what? Your hookers, you expect them to run from dummy half when the markers are offside or when there's one marker. You know, I watched the game again. I only count twice where Queensland had one marker. Twice Appy ran.
Yep.
You can't. They just applied the pressure, and obviously they know Appy's game,
Yeah.
and they did not allow him to run.
No, they didn't.
So I thought Appy was good. I thought Martin was good.
Martin was acceptable.
I thought Haas was good. I thought Toho was good.
Yeah.
I thought Stephen Crichton had a pretty good game.
Oh, so do I.
Yeah.
So do I. Tom, what did they do right last night?
Yeah, I'm finding it hard to be objective, I think.
And it was only an 8-point loss. Let's face it. It wasn't a 50-point
and it was
loss.
all lost in
Hang on,
it was all lost in the last 10
in the
minutes.
last
hang
10
on,
minutes.
but it was an 8-point loss where we had the possession, we had the field, we had
the numbers.
everything.
We had the numbers.
We had the
Right.
numbers.
What changes are we making for next game? Let's
Well,
look
Latrell
at
obviously comes.
3 changes. Let's talk
Yeah.
about 3 changes.
3 changes.
All right.
All right. Not that they will, but I don't think Teddy can be there. You get out jumped by a prop, you can't be in that team.
Look,
Well,
obviously I'm going to.
he had momentum, though.
He had an awful game.
He didn't jump.
He had an awful game. He's out of form at the moment.
Tries.
I would like to see
82.
what he's like over the next 2.
5.
You're not listening to Tom.
Yeah. I'd like to see what he's like over the next 2 club games, because if his form lifts, then I think that's enough to warrant him staying in the team. Because at his best, you know, he connects really well with the rest of the team. You know, and maybe he didn't get the opportunities and felt like he had to do everything because the attack was clunky too.
Yeah,
So you
but-
know, I don't think you can blame James Tedesco.
But you know why? It's because he's trying to do the same thing at the Roosters. Every time he gets the ball, he needs to score because the rest of the team's busted.
Well,
It's a different team.
He's actually
Okay.
admitted that. He admitted that last night
Yep.
before the game.
So
And-
that's one change.
One. What's the other 2?
Well, who are you going to put there?
Well, I'm putting Tom at fullback.
Right.
I'm leaving Latrell in the centres.
Yeah, I don't think Latrell should go to fullback.
And I can't, and I don't think that having another Penrith player there in Dylan Edwards is a good move.
So who would you have? You'd have Turbo.
I'd have Tom.
Okay.
Only because I don't think you can go. I don't think you can go Edwards, Crichton, Toho, Cleary, Luai, Martin, Yeo.
They probably will, but anyway.
Yeah.
I agree.
And so because I don't think you can
as I
do
said,
that.
it's Penrith Panthers versus
Yeah.
Quest.
What's the other 2?
The other 2 changes I'd make. Well, I'd make more than that because I don't think Young and Pengai Junior should be in the team. Full stop.
Okay. Tom, you're 3.
Yeah, look, I'm with that. I'm leaving Teddy there. I'm bringing in Latrell, which is a shame to get rid of Crichton, honestly, because I think he had a pretty fair game. But
Sorry,
Latrell's a better player.
If I can interrupt,
no, you can't
Tom-
because you had your go.
Yeah.
Tom
You've had your go.
Tom won't play again until the next State of Origin, thanks
Yeah,
to
I
the head
know.
knock.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
It wasn't a very big egg knock.
no, I didn't think it was either, but category 1.
So if Tom
So-
doesn't play, then maybe Crichton keeps his position. I'd get rid of Pangai Junior. I'd put Paolo in the starting lineup, and I'd get rid of Hudson Young. I think they'll probably stick with him because they want to see whether he improves. But yeah, honestly, I thought he's a liability. And I think you got to make more of Nico Hines. I think you got to bring him on earlier, and I think maybe put him in at alternate hooker with Appy or something like that.
Okay.
You got to use him, honestly. Gotta
Okay.
use him.
You want my 3 changes?
well, no, because they're irrelevant.
Yes.
Why are they irrelevant?
Yes, I'll listen, Steve.
Well, he's going to bring in Latrell. He's going to bring in Campbell Graham.
Excuse me, you've had.
And he's gonna bring in
you've
Campbell
spoken
Tungy.
for 2/3 of the whole.
Yeah, because
session
I'm the
so
only one
far.
talking sense.
No, you're not.
You're the only. You're saying you're not even going to drop Teddy when everybody says we should.
That's all right.
Okay.
You might.
I'd drop Teddy, and I'd put Nico Hines in fullback. Okay. Obviously Latrell comes in because he should. I would drop Luai, and I would probably bring in Burton. because one of the things that we didn't have last night again was a running 5'8", and I've been saying this all along. We have a halfback who can kick a ball. We need a running 5'8", and Burton's a great running 5'8". And by the way, when he puts up a bomb, everybody notices.
Well, Cleary can do that too, but he didn't get the opportunity last night. He got pressured.
No, that's right,
really well
because
pressured.
they weren't doing that. So they are the changes I would make. And yes, I'd probably bring in Campbell Graham and that sort of. But you know what? I thought Crichton had a great game last night. I would actually probably even change out Fox. We brought him in after one game, and he was. And honestly, he was.
He's average at running the ball out the back.
They haven't burned him.
He does, yeah, but what I'm saying is bringing the ball back from the kick. He's good when he gets in space.
Yeah,
but he didn't get any space last night.
So get rid of Tommy, get rid of Teddy, and I'd probably, like I say, bring in.
Yeah.
So get rid of Luai.
Listen to him. So our forwards lost the battle, which means the halves couldn't work. The backs didn't get any space, so he drops 3 backs. Genius. Absolute genius. You can tell he's a Queenslander.
The forwards didn't lose the battle.
The forwards did lose the battle.
I'm sorry, listen. If you had any understanding of the game, you would know that in the first half... Hang on, just hear me out. Listen.
Brian.
Hey, Brian. Stop. Yeah, listen. In the first half, we were attacking the Queenslanders' line from about the 30 metres to the goal line repeatedly.
Yep.
Your forwards have done the job. The forwards have got you down there. The forwards continue to get you down there. Now it's the job of the backs to get those tries.
No.
It's not the job of the forwards to keep barging over.
You know who got us down there? 1 break by Tohol, 1 break by Crichton, 1 break by Teddy.
Well, that's 3 tries. We spent 40 minutes in the first half down there.
So Tino or Tavita? Tino. Cotter or Haas? Well, we might go Haas on that one, but Cotter played in the centres. Hang on. Fafita or Frizzell? Fafita. Gilbert or Young? Well, until Gilbert came off, he was dominating. Carrigan or Yeo? Carrigan. Oh, let's look at the bench. Flegler or Parlow? Flegler. Collins or Murray? Maybe you're going to make a case for Murray. They smashed us in the forwards.
Yes, they did.
If you were to
but the forwards
choose
did their job to get there.
If you were to put a combined forward pack together, it would all be Queenslanders with maybe Payne Haas. That's it.
Okay.
That's where we lost.
Okay.
I think you're understanding the effect that Junior Barlow had.
I think you're right too.
He needed to start.
Sorry, and you'd keep Murray.
Which meant he was limited in time and didn't have the impact.
Forwards got you to where the backs need to
put him
score.
in the starting lineup.
That's the thing. The forwards got you there.
My goodness.
The backs weren't good enough to do what they had to do.
There were no fast play the balls. It was slow.
It didn't need it at the 30.
You do.
That's where you put on your set moves.
Great television.
We couldn't do it because they kept getting in our face.
Okay, are you going to keep Freddie or are you going to get rid of him?
He's got 1 game.
You think he's got 1 game?
I mean, he'll have to play both coach both games, but he's got 1 game. I think if they go down,
so he loses game 2, we win game 3. You think he stays or goes?
Oh, he's gone. If he loses against Queensland, he's under a lot of pressure. If they don't beat Queensland and Queensland, and I know the odds. He does not beat Queensland and Queensland. Then it shows that he hasn't got enough to coach them because this is a team that should be winning.
Yeah. Okay. Keeping Freddie or you're losing him?
You're keeping him. There's no one else.
You're keeping him for next year as well?
There's no one else.
What do you mean there's no one else?
Somebody might read ahead.
Who? Who are you going to put in?
Bellamy?
Bellamy doesn't want it.
No,
Bellamy tried it and gave up. Bellamy tried it for 1 season and went, this is too tough, and went crying back to Melbourne with his superstars.
Isn't it really sad that we've got no one who actually wants to coach New South Wales State of Origin?
You know, I would take Andrew Johns. At least he seems to understand what the game is about.
He's too hot-headed to be a coach.
Well, that's wrong. That's the problem.
We'll take Matty Johns.
Yeah.
No, Matty Johns is a Queenslander in disguise.
No, he's a good analyst, Matty.
So you just think that anyone who's honest about State of Origin is a Queenslander in disguise?
I know Hindy.
No, you know what? No, I can't. Were you watching the game last night? Did you hear the commentators? It was
yes.
How many points were we up by? We're up by at one point we're up by 8, and they're going, "Oh, watch out for the Queenslanders! Watch out for the Queenslanders!" You know, you're buying into the media psych.
Hang on, but what happened? Watch out for the Queenslanders, and they won.
No, because the team is psychologically damaged.
By the way, we're only 2 points down
and
when they were saying
up.
that.
and a man up.
And we still lost to the
Damn
Queenslanders.
it,
So
I'll
guess
coach
what?
the team. Freddie's got, I'm in. All right.
Oh, so look out for the Queenslanders. You know what?
No.
Can I just say?
The bias is incredible. I can't take it anymore.
Can I just say for a
I'm walking out.
In a minute, you can walk out. Just as a side note, there was a whinge by Buzz. I usually quite like reading you, but this is something you got wrong. He was
Really?
whinging about the fact that Cameron Smith was on the Channel 9 commentary team and in the Queensland sheds talking to Queenslanders at halftime. Who cares?
Well, you know what?
Seriously, the Queenslanders aren't listening to the commentary while they're playing the game.
You know
It
what
really
really
doesn't
annoyed
matter.
me last season? Game 3, and Cleary kicks the ball, and what's his name catches it. Ben Hunt catches it, and what do you hear? Cameron Smith in the box going, "Go, go, go!" Is that impartial commentary? Not at
No,
all.
none of it's impartial.
Seriously.
No, honestly,
Just
Even
call the
trying to be-
game.
It's trying,
Yeah,
not trying
seriously.
to be
Yeah, but
impartial.
even the New South Wales commentators are not impartial.
Can I
that was
just say-
They're just, we love you, Queensland. We love you.
Can I just make a statement
Goodness.
to Peter, our friend,
Peter?
Peter Volandis?
Oh, yeah. He listens to the show for sure.
He does, and he rang me the other day. He said, "Are you doing a special?" I said, "Yes, we might be." So while you're listening, Peter, I want you to know this. Can we please have Fox show the game? Because the Channel 9 commentary, nobody likes it. I don't know anybody who has Fox who bothers with Channel 9. And all the
I
ads-
do when my internet drops out.
That's right, when your internet drops out. And the ads through it, and
I
the
refuse to
small
watch
screen and the big ad. And seriously,
I
just
mean,
give
the
us
other night
football.
they had a break in play, and they had a split screen with an ad, and
Yeah.
the play had already started and they hadn't finished the ad. I mean, it's just
Peter,
ridiculous.
mate, seriously, give it to Fox. They will do so much better than Channel 9 ever do.
Fox suck anyway.
All right.
He's
we're-
angry with the world.
Okay. Have we helped you, Brian, get your anger out tonight? Have we helped
No, I
you
don't
resolve
think so.
resolve your issues?
No, because they picked the wrong team, and you know what the worst thing is?
They're going to pick the same team again.
Some innocuous little head knock, Category 1, and Tom can't play next week.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't even see the head knock. I don't know.
Oh,
How he was sent to the bin for that was ridiculous.
No. I get that he was sent to the bin. You make contact with the head,
But
you
he
go
didn't.
to the bin. He did.
Not when you headbutt someone's shoulder. Isn't that
No.
basically what happened?
That's what happened in the Newcastle Manly game.
I know.
And everybody went, oh, well, okay, hit him in the head. He hit him in the head.
All right. Anything intelligent you want in the show with?
Please drop Teddy. Please. Freddie, drop
Hater.
Teddy.
Hater.
You know I love Teddy.
Hater,
but
hater,
he
hater.
is so out of form. And you know I love him.
Yeah, but I don't think you need to drop it.
Doesn't
I think
sound
you gotta
like you love
persist.
him.
I think you got to persist.
No.
Got to give him another game.
No.
To redeem
Why? So we
himself.
can. So Freddie's, whose job's on the line, as you've said, keeps the worst player we had on the field.
He wasn't the worst player.
Oh, hang
Hudson
on.
Young was worse than him.
I looked at the player ratings, and there were most of the player ratings gave Teddy a 4. Hudson Young at least got a 5.
How did he get a 5? He did nothing.
Yeah, well, neither did Teddy did. Let in
He
3
scored-
tries,
he scored their try.
buffed 3 tries, and let in 2 more.
Tom, what do you want in the show with?
Brian's a hater.
Brian's a hater.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you for watching. This is Tom, Brian, and Steve, and we're from the Sidelines.
And he's got unconscious bias towards Tommy.
And
I
he's
love
got
Tommy.
yeah. This is our State of Origin special, and I think we should do this again after Game 2. So
Only if we win. I don't think I can handle a loss. I could barely handle that.
just you should learn to be humble like I am, Brian.
Obnoxious. I can do that.
Humble. you do that very
You
well.
and Sally can have a
I love him.
Queensland love fest.
I'm sorry.
I'm telling ya.
No,
Yeah, you can.
I don't love Queensland at all. I just said they would win. That's all. It was a tip. Thank you for watching. You're with Tom, Brian, and Steve, and we'll do this again next week. Don't forget to watch our show next week for round 14, I think it is.
Yep.
And you can watch this on Facebook, YouTube, or download the podcast on Spotify. Thanks for watching. See you later. Bye-bye.
See you later.